Hello champions, I am Annurag Srivastava and I am here today to speak on the interpretation of VDA 6.3 Process Audit results. In the previous two modules, we have learnt about VDA and its family of documents. More precisely, what is VDA 6.3 all about, its elements and the applicability of the elements in the product realization cycle. As you can see, the complete VDA 6.3 structure is divided into these 6 elements from P2 to P7. P2 stands for project management and it has 7 questions. P3 stands for planning the product and process development and it has 5 questions. P4 stands for implementing of the product and process development. It has 8 questions. P5 is supply management. It has 7 questions. P6 process analysis production. It has 26 questions. And P7 customer care. It has 5 questions. Along with this, some of the questions are identified as star mark questions. And these are the questions which involve special risk in terms of product and process. Element P6 is further subdivided into 6 sub-elements which are called as P6.1, P6.2, P6.3, P6.4, P6.5 and P6.6. P6.1 stands for process input. P6.2 talks about process management. P6.3 talks about personal resources. P6.4 talks about material resources. P6.5 talks about efficiency. P6.6 talks about process output. There is one more sub-element which talks about transport handling of parts. There is no separate questionnaire for this transport and handling. The questions are identified from these sub-elements questions itself. In this, each element gets its score identified as EP2, EP3, EP4, EP5, EP6 and EP7, which in turn are used to get the final score, which we will see in some time in the video. Now then, how does the scoring of the individual questions is done? VDA 6.3 have clear-cut guidelines laid down to evaluate the risk assessment from the perspective of the process, product and systematic view. Each question is rated with a score of 10, 8, 6, 4 and 0, where 10 stands for full compliance of the requirements. 8 stands for requirements mainly fulfilled. There is a minor deviation. 6 stands for requirements are partially fulfilled and there is a significant deviation. 4 stands for requirements inadequately fulfilled and there is a major deviation. And 0 stands for requirements are not fulfilled. In the standard, each point is having clear-cut requirement mentioned to allot the correct score as per the evidence observed. For example, if the process meets all the requirements, you will allot a score of 10 for that question. If there is a small deviation which does not affect the compliance to the customer specific requirement, you will allot a score of 8. If the process does not always meet the requirement and has an impact to the customer specific requirement, you allot a score of 6. If a process does not meet the requirement and has a significant impact, you allot a score of 4. And if the process is not at all capable, you allot a score of 0. So this is how the scoring of the individual questions is done with reference to the table given in the standard. Now let's understand the calculation part, how the final score gets generated. Even though in the VDA 6.3 Excel sheet with the help of macros, all the scores get automatically generated. But for our understanding purpose, we will see how the score gets calculated and its formula. The final score which gets generated is called as EG, and it is the total points from the elements EP2, EP3, EP4, EP5, EP6 and EP7 out of the total of all possible points from these questions, and we get a percentage score out of this. The overall level of compliance of a supplier, e.g., is classified into three categories: A, B and C. When EG percentage is greater than or equal to 90%, the supplier is quality capable. If the EG percentage falls between 80 to 90, the supplier is conditionally quality capable. And if the supplier final score is less than 80%, then the supplier is in red category and is not quality capable. In addition to this, there is one special thing in the standard which impacts your final results. Even if the supplier is performing exceedingly well in all the areas, but there is one particular area where the supplier is not performed and its individual element score is low, it will impact your overall result or your overall score. So let's understand the downgrading rules criteria for this. There are 4 requirements where the supplier can be downgraded. Even though a supplier has scored more than 90%, but still it can be downgraded from A to B if any of the process element is less than 80%. If any one of the sub-elements of P6 like P6.1, 6.2 is less than 80%. Third criteria is if at least one star mark question is scored 4 points. Fourth criteria is if at least one question you have rated as 0 point, then the supplier will be downgraded from A to B. Similarly, a supplier will be downgraded to C category if any of the process element is less than 70% or any of the star mark question you have rated as 0, then the supplier will be straight away downgraded to C. So with this, I have come to the end of this module. I hope you find this to be valuable in your journey for excellence towards VDA 6.3. Do subscribe to my channel as there are more videos modules coming in for you. Till then, keep learning, keep sharing. See ya.